It's been reported that BBC boss Tim Davie finds his staff's coverage of the Hugh Edwards sex allegations bizarre. According to the Sunday Times, Mr Davie has concern over how BBC staff are covering the situation and plans to talk to the BBC News Department about this. Does he indeed? Is he going to tell them off for doing journalism? His friends allege that Mr Davie would rather it wasn't dealt with like this. Would he not? This is the leader of an organisation that sat on its hands for 7 weeks following shocking allegations that their biggest star and the face of their news operation had allegedly paid a crack cocaine-addicted teenager £35,000 for pornographic images. Nothing to see here. Move on. It's becoming increasingly clear that Hugh Edwards' high-profile cheerleaders want this to go away, with attacks on The Sun for merely reporting the testimony of worried parents. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people that if you say that I can't talk about something, that's the thing I'm going to talk about. If you say, look away, nothing to see here, that's the first place I will look. Which is why I won't move on from the Hugh Edwards scandal, which is, of course, the great wish of the powerful figures in the media elite, who are clearly worried about such an establishment figure falling. They are circling the wagons to protect their own. In life, if something doesn't make sense, then it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't feel right, then it isn't right. But we now live in a topsy-turvy world where saying what you see and pointing out what is perfectly obvious to everyone is a borderline criminal offence. Well, allow me to commit a few crimes then, by asking simple questions. Why has Hugh Edwards made no denial? Yes, he's being treated for mental health issues and we wish him well. But has he lost the power of speech? If he can't speak, could his family not do it on his behalf, given that they took the decision to name him in the first place, I assume with his consent? Why have his family employed the services of ex-con and surely Britain's most discredited journalist, Andy Coulson? This is a guy that was jailed for hacking the phones of public figures, including murdered schoolgirl Millie Dowler. The Guardian report that Edwards and his family have turned to this former jailbird for advice on crisis management. Surely not the best look, given his team of supporters want to characterise Edwards as the poor, tragic victim. Hugh Edwards is not the victim here. Until these allegations are denied and proved to be untrue, the status of victimhood exists only for the young person whose drug habit allegedly Edwards bankrolled with licence fee cash. Another victim is the youngster that he allegedly met online who, threatening to expose Edwards, was apparently sent expletive-filled messages verified by the BBC as having come from the star's phone. What about the Beeb employee who alleges that they were sent a private message about their appearance which left them with a cold shudder? Why was the brilliant Victoria Derbyshire and the BBC Newsnight team investigating allegations around Hugh Edwards before the original story broke? Derbyshire said on Wednesday's show that present and former corporation staff had been sent inappropriate messages by the newsreader and that junior staff felt totally intimidated by him. Also, was £35,000 really the cost of those images? That's a lot of money for pictures of someone in the nude, given the fact that most pornography is free. Was that 35 grand hush money? Was it a gagging order or a so-called NDA? I would love answers to these questions. And who is paying the expensive legal fees of this alleged crack cocaine-addicted victim, who has, I should add, denied the story? Do alleged crack cocaine addicts have thousands of pounds spare for central London barristers? I know I don't, and I doubt you do either. The issue that no law has been broken is a red herring so fat and juicy it would have seafood chef Rick Stein salivating. Are you telling me that the man who fronted the Queen's funeral and the King's coronation, allegedly betraying his wife and 5 kids whilst parading as a devout Christian, isn't a story? Are you telling me that's not in the national interest? Hugh Edwards could be entirely innocent of all of these charges. All of these testimonies could be a witch hunt and a pack of lies, at which point he's back on the telly, no problem. But at the moment, something doesn't feel right. There are more elephants in the room than London Zoo. And to those who want to shut down the story, I say, tusk, tusk.